In the whimsical village of Bumblebrook, nestled amongst rolling green hills and babbling brooks, lived a family known for their eccentricity. There was Papa Pip, a dreamer who collected buttons like some collected gold, Mama Clover, whose attic was overflowing with forgotten hats, young Willow, a storyteller with a hoard of well-loved but slightly battered toys, and Tiny Timmy, obsessed with shimmering pebbles he found along the riverbank. Their house, a charming cottage with a crooked chimney, was bursting at the seams. Every nook and cranny was filled with their treasured possessions. One sunny afternoon, after tripping over Papa Pip's button collection, again, Mama Clover declared, "Enough is enough. We need space. We need a flea market." Willow, with her eyes shining, chimed in, "A grand Bumblebrook extravaganza of forgotten treasures." Timmy, clutching a particularly sparkly pebble, squeaked, "Pebbles for everyone." And so, the Bumblebrook extravaganza was born. The preparations began immediately. Papa Pip spent hours sorting his buttons into categories: shimmering pearly whites, earthy browns, and rainbow-hued delights. Mama Clover dusted her hats, deciding which were best suited for gardening, tea parties, or, perhaps, even a daring adventure. Willow carefully mended her toys, patching up Teddy's missing ear, and giving Princess Penelope's dress a new, sparkly trim. Timmy, meanwhile, polished his pebbles until they gleamed like tiny stars. The day of the flea market dawned bright and cheerful. They set up their stall in the village square, draping it with Mama Clover's brightest scarves, and adorning it with colorful balloons. Papa Pip arranged his buttons in dazzling patterns, Mama Clover perched her hats on wooden stands, Willow lined up her toys, and Timmy created a sparkling mosaic with his pebbles. The first customer was Mrs. Higgins, the baker, who was looking for a new hat to wear to the annual Bumblebrook bake-off. She tried on a jaunty straw hat adorned with silk flowers and declared it perfect. Next came Mr. Grumbles, the grumpy gardener, who was searching for a button to replace the one missing on his favorite overalls. Papa Pip, with a twinkle in his eye, presented him with a sturdy, earthy brown button that seemed to have been grown from the earth itself. Mr. Grumbles surprised everyone by actually smiling. But then, disaster struck. A gust of wind whipped through the square, scattering Papa Pip's buttons across the cobblestones, blowing Mama Clover's hats into the nearby fountain, and tipping over Willow's toy collection. Timmy, overwhelmed by the chaos, began to cry. The extravaganza was in ruins. Just when they were about to give up, a small, elderly gnome with a long white beard and twinkling eyes appeared. He was Old Man Willowbark, known throughout Bumblebrook for his wisdom and magical green thumb. "What's all this commotion?" he asked kindly. The family, dejected, explained their predicament. Old Man Willowbark chuckled. "Sometimes," he said, "the best treasures are not the ones you sell, but the ones you share." He then waved his hand, and to everyone's amazement, the scattered buttons began to reassemble themselves into a giant, shimmering mosaic on the ground. The wind, as if understanding his words, gentled, and the hats gently floated back, now adorned with sparkling water droplets. Willow's toys, inspired by the gnome's calmness, began to dance and play together, creating a spontaneous puppet show for the gathering crowd. The villagers, mesmerized, forgot all about their flea market needs. They gathered around the mosaic, marveling at its beauty. They laughed at the antics of the dancing toys and admired the sparkling hats. Instead of selling, the family began to share their treasures. Papa Pip invited everyone to add their own buttons to the mosaic, creating a communal artwork. Mama Clover helped the children decorate the hats with flowers and ribbons. Willow, inspired by the dancing toys, told a story about a brave knight and a mischievous dragon, using her toys as puppets. Timmy, forgetting his tears, gave everyone a pebble to keep as a reminder of the day. The Bumblebrook extravaganza of forgotten treasures had become the Bumblebrook extravaganza of shared joy. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the villagers began to depart, their hearts filled with joy and their pockets still full. The family might not have earned any money, but they had gained something far more valuable, a stronger sense of community and the understanding that true wealth lies in sharing what you have. But the adventure wasn't over yet. The next morning, a letter arrived, sealed with a royal crest. It was from Princess Iris, who lived in the nearby Crystal Castle. She had heard about the extraordinary Bumblebrook Extravaganza and was intrigued by Willow's storytelling and the dancing toys. She invited the family to the castle to perform for the royal court. Excited and nervous, the family packed up Willow's toys, Mama Clover's most elegant hats, Papa Pip's most shimmering buttons, carefully secured this time, and Timmy's most dazzling pebbles. At the castle, they were greeted with open arms. Willow's storytelling captivated the royal court. The dancing toys brought laughter and cheer, and Mama Clover's hats added a touch of elegance. Papa Pip's buttons adorned the princess's gown, and Timmy's pebbles decorated the royal fountains, making them sparkle even brighter. The princess, so impressed, declared the Bumblebrook family royal entertainers. From then on, they traveled throughout the kingdom, sharing their joy and spreading their unique brand of magic. They performed in bustling market squares, enchanted forest glades, and even the grandest of palaces. And though they sometimes sold a button, or a hat, or a toy, they always remembered Old Man Willowbark's words, that the best treasures are the ones you share. And they continued to share their treasures, not just with those who could afford to buy them, but with everyone they met, making the world a little bit brighter, a little bit more joyful, and a whole lot more Bumblebrookish. And Timmy's pebbles? He never ran out. He always found more, and always shared them with a smile. Because in Bumblebrook, happiness, like pebbles, grew best when shared.